Well, well, hello everybody. Um, we're starting our show a little later today because Charlie's Insider Club is overrunning and they have General Flynn on there live. And they had a lot of technical problems getting started, and they're overrunning. And as a lot of our members are also watching his show, we're going to delay the start of this show until uh, uh, until his show has ended. Now we've had this once before, and what I'll do is I will I will disappear, but you can continue and talk amongst yourselves if you like until which I suspect it's maybe, well, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think 10, 15 minutes. It could be something like that. I've got no idea. Either way, you guys can talk amongst themselves. I'll leave the show running, and we'll be back as soon as Charlie's show has ended, and then we'll start the show properly. Is that okay with you guys?
Is it possible for us to dial in as well to find out what's going on? Or is this a closed section?
Into Charlie's show.
Yeah, I've been trying to find it for a couple of weeks.
I can put the link in the chat if you like.
Thank you.
1 second, I just got to find it. Because anybody can join it.
Really?
Yeah, because as long as you're on Telegram and you know
Okay.
where to look.
I, obviously, I'm a dinosaur.
Well, come on.
You're not
Right.
the only one that's been able to find it.
You're okay,
Yes.
because I really haven't. I've tried. It just didn't work.
Okay, I've just put the link into the chat, so
Okay.
you can click on that and watch the end of Charlie's show.
Okay.
You may be able to hear it in the background. I'm not quite sure because it's on my notebook at the moment. Uh,
Okay.
and yes, the Inside Club is a membership thing, but they've been giving out free links for a long time now.
Okay. Good. Are they talking also about Marjorie Taylor Greene, that they did a swap by her?
Um, yeah, I didn't get that. That's the kind of story which Charlie would pick up on. I've been extremely busy over the last couple of days trying to get the Monday show out. It was technically quite um,
Challenging.
challenging because where I had a lot of visual material to add. The editing is finished. The rendering is happening right now, and that will definitely be out today. That show.
Okay, fine. I
It's
just
got
let
about
you.
20 minutes left to render, and then I can upload it.
Okay, super.
So yeah, of course I'm missing what they're saying, but
Now, then
uh,
go ahead, please go ahead.
uh,
I caught it. I'm going in now, and we'll see what
right.
happens.
Okay, okay.
Verbindung wird aufgebaut. Ah, ich sehe dich.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Right, that's why I said most of the members will not understand German.
Yeah, but I see you. How is it possible that I'm in the link from Charlie?
What? You see me and Charlie?
No, I only see you in your background.
You only see me in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. I'm on Charlie's show under a different name,
Okay.
so you won't see me. So you won't see my picture there. At least you
But I do.
shouldn't.
Then I'm in the wrong place because I see your picture. Okay, good.
You
Let me
you
try
see my
again.
pic. You see my
Sure.
picture on Charlie's show.
I don't know if it's Charlie's show, but I see your picture. Go ahead, go back, and I'll
Well,
just
you
try to figure this out. I don't want you to miss anything because then you can tell us.
right? Okay. Well, I've already missed quite a bit now. Um, okay, I'll watch the rest of the show. Chat amongst yourselves. I'm not closing anything, and I'll be back as soon as his show is over. Okay. Billy's also watching the other show, so he's not actually here yet. So we are only 42 people in this here at the moment because the rest are probably still watching Charlie. Okay, so I'll see you shortly.
Okay, since everybody's gone and there are only a few of us and no one's saying anything, I will feel so free to say something. How is everybody? How is everybody holding up under the stress? My name is Patricia Ubridge. Actually, I'm American, but I live here in Germany over 40 years. And yeah, how is everyone? How are you holding up under the stress of waiting for the redemption, for the, I'm not so keen on all of the abbreviations. I'm relatively new here. And I don't have my picture because you certainly wouldn't like to see what I look like right now.
Hi, Patricia. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hello, how are you?
Yes, I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
It's a strange weather here, but I'm okay. It's not so good for the blood pressure, but okay. Yeah. Where are you from, my dear?
So I live in the US,
Okay.
in Massachusetts.
Oh, Boston.
And well, you know, outside of Boston, yeah.
Mhm.
So we've had some very strange weather as well. Actually, we've had a beautiful summer with lots of heat, but very, very little rain. So it's been strange. And usually at this time of year, it cools down, but we're having forecasts in the 90s. So, and that's in Fahrenheit. So it's very strange weather. I don't know how much of it is manipulated and how much of it is real. It's difficult to say. So, yeah. So you were asking a question about how is everyone handling the stress of the RV?
Yes.
And I thought I'd chime in and offer perhaps a different angle or a different perspective on the whole thing. And it's
sure.
Perhaps more of an esoteric angle instead of sort of a nuts and bolts, you know, day-to-day sort of angle. So, you know, everybody has different belief systems, and I completely respect whatever anyone's belief system is. So I'm not trying to impose any kind of beliefs on anyone. I'm just kind of offering this as a perspective, something to think about. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too.
Okay, we're not censored here, I was told. So go ahead, be my guest.
So over the years, I guess with my own sort of personal growth and my own expansion in awareness and figuring out and learning how the universe really works, the older I get, the more, you know, I am becoming convinced that, you know, this universe is very much all about energy. So everything in this universe is energy. Everything that you look around, you know, your coffee table, your house, your, you know, your television, your, you know, your potted plant, everything is energy. And
I
so
agree.
everything that also events are energy, thoughts are energy, everything is energy. And so there is something that is called the collective consciousness, which is the collective thoughts and focus of the majority of people. And where you focus your attention is where the energy grows. And so whatever you focus on grows. And I'm also on Telegram, and I've actually just left quite a few channels because they continue to regurgitate all this negative news about what's going on with, you know, the cabal, what's going on with the pedophiles and the vaccination status and the fraud and the election fraud and the this and the that. And after a while, I think it just gets to be an overload but at the same time, it also shows me, and this is just from my objective perspective, it shows me that there is so much focus and energy on this negative stuff, on all the stuff that we don't want. And so by law, by universal law, if you focus on what you don't want, you just keep getting more of what you don't want. So this to me ties into why isn't the RV happening? Why isn't anything happening? Well, because the collective consciousness, the majority is focused on all the things that are wrong with this world, on the wars, the violence, the hatred, instead of focusing on the opposite, and I realize it's very hard to do that 180-degree shift when we're being bombarded from every angle with all this negativity. But I don't think anything's going to happen until that collective consciousness shifts to something that is more towards what it is that we want to create, because we really are creators of our reality. And I think so few people are consciously aware of that. And so that's just my perspective. And I think it's really important, even if, people don't have to go out and riot. People don't have to go and make bold, grand gestures. All that's needed to raise the individual person's vibration or frequency, energetic frequency, is to simply focus on things that are more positive, that bring joy. And I know that sounds trite, people who are suffering financially and otherwise will say, well, how can I focus on joy? Well, it's hard. I've been there. Trust me. I've been down a very, very, very long, hard road. And I got out of it because I made a concerted effort to focus on positive things. And so it is possible. It just takes effort. And, no one's going to come and save us. We have to do it individually, one by one. We have to take responsibility for where our lives are going. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture. You can just focus on things that you enjoy. Maybe listen to a song that, lifts you up. Or maybe, pursue a hobby that perhaps brings you joy, that elevates your vibration. Anything to get away from all that negativity. So that's just a very long-winded sort of perspective that I wanted to offer in answer to your question as to how's everybody doing with the stress and waiting for this to happen. So that's just my point of view. Of course.
Thank you very, very much. I can confirm what you're saying. My question was in line with what I have been reading, for example, Mark Z. And so many people are asking, when is it going to happen? I'm happy that I didn't know about all of this until June of this year. But you're right. And as far as the telegram and the negativity there, I came out. I left it because it was just too much. No matter what, it was totally negative. I mean, as far as I understand, this is something you're getting basically for free. No? It's a gift. You have to do a little bit for it, but it's almost nothing compared with what you will get out of it. But I find that many people are acting as if the system owes them something, like it's theirs. No? And I can imagine if people have a lot of time that they've invested, a lot of this, a lot of the other. But this thing about being positive, about thinking positively, I can give you a small example of why what you're saying is true. My family and I, my sons and I, what we did was 13 years, we didn't have a TV. And we chose not to have a TV. We voted on it, right? Majority of us. So we didn't have a TV for 13 years. we didn't know what was going on. We did have the internet or we had movies that we wanted to see. They were usually upbuilding or real life things that were really, really good. And when the tsunami hit, we had no idea about what happened. But we were walking through we had to go to the city, so we walked through the Bahnhof train station, right? And we had noticed people were walking around like zombies. Huh? They were so affected by, as I said, we didn't know what had happened, and they were walking around like zombies. And in the train station, we went past a gigantic screen, and all of the people were standing there, like with their eyes, and then there was a sea, a body of water, yeah. And there were things that looked to us like, I don't know, what are they, balloons or whatever? We didn't know it was dead bodies that had been affected through the water, that had been swollen up. We didn't know. We went past, and when we came back, the people were still standing there. And then we questioned, what is this? And then someone said, yeah, don't you know about the tsunami? Where do you live, you know? And we were like, tsunami? And then we went and looked in the internet and said, oh my goodness, this happened. It was really, really terrible. Then we heard that the earthquake that took place also, that even the axis of the earth changed a bit, even time went backwards or forwards, I'm not sure, of some milliseconds. And with that, we were aware, and we really felt good. We thanked our God that we did not know about these things, because it really, really had saddened so many people. They were walking around, so many people lost someone who had seen it. I think that we all know this even from 9/11, how traumatized we were. I mean, I lived in Germany, or lived in Germany at that time, but I saw it too. Just on the edge, coming in from shopping. Yeah, it's also my anniversary, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, happy.
Yeah, my husband got me long stem roses, and we needed a new vase, and went shopping. And when we came back, this was on, and I thought, oh my goodness, what is this for a science fiction movie, you know, at this time of day? And then I realized that it was for real, that it was really happening. And of course, then you get nervous, call up everybody at home. Is everything okay? What is going on? And of course, you get no one, because everybody's calling up home, trying to find out if everything's okay. And that we experienced live. But it was also different from this tsunami thing. I mean, even one of the ladies that worked in a law firm near there, she had to stop working. She retired because she was in a hotel at the time, and she was on one of these islands where it happened, and the water came toward her and stopped just before it hit the window from the terrace. And she's so totally mentally and physically affected by it. Her husband, who was in the bathroom, who didn't see that, didn't understand what was wrong with her. So I know this negativity and trying to get out of it, but not only what you're saying, many other sources we have also in psychology about positive thinking, and that does affect us. Yeah. So I was wondering, how is everybody here dealing with it? The thing I found positive about our group is that you don't hear a lot of people moaning and groaning. Maybe they are inside, but in those other shows, I mean, I'm just reading it, and I don't listen to it, I read it. Yeah. You hear how unsatisfied and how down the people are. Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I wanted to know, was this also affecting our group?
Yeah, so I was just going to add to that, you know, when I hear people going, oh, when is this going to happen? Are we there yet? Blah, blah, blah. Again, that's a thought form that is sending a message out to the universe. I'm waiting, I'm waiting, I'm waiting. So what do? You create more waiting. So instead of waiting, turn your focus on something that's perhaps more joyful and more productive and makes you feel better. And that way, by the time this actually will happen, you won't have spent, wasting your life away waiting for something to happen. Because even though, you go to work every day or whatever, in the back of your mind, in the subconscious mind, you're still waiting. And so we all know the subconscious mind has a priority over the conscious mind. And
Correct.
so you're going to keep recreating that reality infinitum, ad infinitum. So instead of waiting, instead of grumbling, instead of wondering what's, focusing on what's not happening, focus on something that, that is different. Just shift that consciousness. And that slight shift makes a huge difference, if nothing else, in the way you feel. And that already is a huge shift.
That's
So
true. Or help
that's what I've
someone.
been- Pardon me?
Or help someone. Do something positive for someone else. Because
Absolutely.
if we're doing that, then we're not thinking constantly about the
Exactly.
negative thoughts of it. The time will go by quicker and we won't even
Absolutely.
realize it. That we'll go, oh
Absolutely.
wow, it's already here.
Exactly.
You can wallow around in negativity, or you can stay positive and do some good in the world.
Exactly.
Absolutely, I agree.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Sorry for the delay. We were trying to make sure that we got all the info that we could from Charlie and General Flynn. That not much going on there. General Flynn did a lot of great talking points and whatnot on the show. But a lot of things to get to. We'll answer any questions you had about what they had to say later in the show. Man, a lot of things happening last night. Did everybody hear that Marjorie Taylor Greene got swatted last night at her home at 1 o'clock in the morning? Some liberal POS called in and said that there were children being abused at her house, and a SWAT team showed up at her house at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Unbelievable. It was absolutely unbelievable. But these are the types of things that the liberals like to do. They will call the police on you and say that there's all kinds of things happening at your house, and then all of a sudden you got a SWAT team showing up. It was really, really.
So why do the
stupid.
Conservatives not do that with the Liberals?
Well, I don't know, Peter. We have a moral standard that we have to live by. Okay. Yeah. And they call us out on that moral standard an awful lot. And you know what? I think that President Trump kind of broke that moral standard just a little bit. And it's like we're able to call a spade and call the kettle black, now versus what we were able to do before. So
isn't calling a kettle black determined as racist?
Well, yes, of course it is. But, we're still able to use that terminology.
Yeah.
So, yes, it was a fake accusation, Claire. It was totally fake. But she had the SWAT team show up at her house at 1 o'clock in the morning down there in Georgia. It was totally unbelievable.
Didn't the police also show up?
Oh, yeah, that was the SWAT team. That was, the police with a SWAT team, full tactical armor.
Yeah, we had this here not too long ago for a little kid, because somebody called and said something like that. Unbelievable.
All right, but welcome to the GESARA show. I'm Billy.
And I'm Peter.
And we welcome you. Glad everybody could join us here today. Getting a little bit late start, but we will get into things here real quick. So, Peter, I understand that the German prices for electricity and whatnot are supposed to be in December, January. They're predicting $800 per kilowatt hour. Is that correct?
Well, I'm still looking into that because I don't think anybody believes that, to be honest. a kilowatt of power I'm paying for now is like 25 cents.
Right.
So for it to go up that high is a bit ridiculous. Yeah.
I saw graphics, and everything else. Mark Z had it on it. I looked at the website too, but they're actually saying that it could go as high as $800 per kilowatt hour. Yeah, during the winter.
Yeah,
that'll put you.
I think they're confusing gigawatt with megawatt.
Well, the kilowatt hour.
Kilowatt hour is what cost I pay 25 cents for.
Okay, all right.
Okay, but a megawatt is 1,000 times bigger than that.
Right, exactly.
So so that being that kind of price would actually not be that unusual. So I think somebody is mixing up the terms either by accident or deliberately just to get a headline.
Well, that could be. Okay. I saw the graphic. I saw the article. I'm just, pointing that out. And I thought I had, have a question. Are you experiencing any power shortages or whatnot in the area?
No, none at all. But you have to remember there's a coal-fired power station literally just 20 k's away, maybe not even 20 k's away from where I'm living. So the power we're getting here in Cologne is coming from a coal-fired power station, and they're getting the coal locally. So they're not even dependent on Russia for that coal.
Nice. Okay. Well, that's good.
I am not too concerned right now about the lights going off. What I am hearing is that there are all kinds of nasty things being planned for Germany, probably in October.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people are on holiday at the moment, and it's still sunshiny. It's a little bit hard to say, oh, you have to wear masks, because people will say it's ridiculous. These temperatures, nothing can survive. And so what I'm hearing is they're going to wait until October happens, and then bring in mask mandates and all the junk they had before. But I'm not sure the people will be so willing to do that again, to be honest, because a lot of people have seen how useless it was up to now.
Okay. Well, Bob Marley song comes, right? Stand up.
Yeah. And I'm, I for one, I'm holding to the fact that by then we will be in GESARA anyway.
I'm thinking so. I'm thinking that, we're so close right now. It's not even funny. They've got a lot of stuff to clean up before something drastic happens on September 3rd, which is when they're legally allowed to destroy all of the ballots and everything else for the 2020 election. That all of that expires on September 3rd. Which coincidentally, Trump has announced a new rally on September 3rd in Pennsylvania.
Right. Okay.
Actually,
so they will definitely destroy them on September the 3rd.
In Biden's hometown, no less, just outside of Scranton, Pennsylvania.
Right. Okay.
So that's going to happen on September 3rd.
So his home is not the White House as president?
No. He's never lived there. No.
I know he hasn't.
Never lived there. He's never been there. They either take him down to Georgia to the studio down there just outside of Atlanta, or to the studio out in Los Angeles. And then they have a couple of micro studios just close to in Washington, D.C. there.
Yeah, I heard about the studios actually being built in Washington, where the press are always taken. No?
Right.
The press room.
Right. Yeah, the press room.
Doesn't the press notice that they're not going to the White House press room?
Of course they do. They're lying. I mean, it's all a show. We know that. They're playing their parts, and they're playing them pretty good at this point, but they have slipped up a couple of times, I've noticed.
Yeah, but I mean, so I can understand CNN and MSNBC and those channels going along, but Fox are going along with it too.
All right. So who wants to start a wagering pool of who gets canned next at CNN? We know Brian Stetler is gone. Is it going to be Anderson Cooper or Don Lemon? Any votes? Any votes? Any votes? Any votes? Don Lemon, you think is going to be gone next? Cooper, Don. Okay. We're getting mixed results here. Lemon, Don. Okay. Don, Cooper. We got another Cooper vote. All right. Place your bets now. Okay.
What I would like to see
Jake Tapper maybe. Acosta maybe.
what I think would be funny is if Trump was to buy CNN, kick them all out, put in new good guys, because CNN does have a large distribution network. They're in airports all over the place. They're in all kinds
that
of
was
countries.
canceled. That was canceled.
Yep.
CNN Plus, that all of those airport networks for CNN, all gone.
Well, they haven't got the money anymore. Huh?
Right, exactly. So that went bye-bye.
But they're still available internationally. I can go to my TV now. I can't get RT anymore, but I can still get CNN on my cable channels.
Right. Yeah, you can. CNN International.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that one's still broadcasting, and the big one, here in the United States is still broadcasting. But man, their ratings are way down. I mean, they're not even pulling, reruns of MASH numbers right now.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, if it carries on, we'll have bigger numbers than CNN.
Yeah, reruns. Yeah, I think we do have bigger numbers than CNN, actually. So, well, we'll see. We'll have to actually check that out. If Trump bought CNN, okay.
Trump News Network, we could call it. Yeah,
Trump News Network. Yep,
yeah.
TNN, because TNN is no longer being used.
Yeah, that's right. So instead of
CNN, there was a network called TNN. It was called the Nashville Network. Okay, right. and then it became CMT, Country Music Television.
Ah, okay. So TNN can be used.
Or TNT. Now that's good, Chris. TNT.
That's pretty explosive.
Trump News Television. News Television. TNT. Explosive. There you go. We have explosive details.
That would be very explosive. Yes.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah. So I've been here spending the last couple of days trying to get Monday's show out, and literally, I managed to get the preview out because the preview is shorter. That's already out there. The full episode is currently rendering, nearly finished with rendering, and I've got to upload it, and then people can watch it. So as I'm doing the show, I can't really work on it, but so basically, very shortly after this show is over, Monday's show will be released to the subscribers. Sorry about the delay, but it is visually very
compelling.
Very compelling. Yes, I've added a lot of good video material to the show, which is one of the reasons it took so long, and I think you'll like it.
Right. So, and General Flynn, somebody mentioned Mary. Thank you very much for mentioning that. Executive Order 14067. Has everybody looked this up? You can find it online. All you have to do is type in your browser EO 14067. Okay. And it'll bring up the entire executive order. Read it very carefully. It's very interesting. Okay. So if you haven't had it, I have read it. Yes.
So tell us about it.
Well, I'd have to bring it up in order to highlight everything that I saw in there, but
the executive summary.
It's Executive Order 14067, and it talks about going to a digital currency. Okay, in December. All right. By the central banks and whatnot. But read it in detail. It is very interesting read. Okay.
Okay, and this was put out by Biden, this executive order?
This was a Biden executive order that he put out in March. That is correct. February or March.
And they're talking about the central bank digital currency, not the...
that is correct.
Not R1, so to speak, not the QFS. Right.
And Gene posted it in chat, right? There you go.
Hi, Peter and Billy, how is your sister? Well, I've got a sister, and Billy's got a sister. I think you mean Billy's sister.
My sister is doing a little bit better. She is at home, but she's still in a lot of pain and is very, very weak. So she's just building her strength back up right now. She can't get up and walk around without help. Okay.
Right. Okay.
But appreciate the prayers and everything else. But she is at home resting in the dachshunds. The two little dachshunds, one's called Ryder, the other one's called Dippy. Okay. And they stay right by her side all the time.
Sounds good.
Okay. So what do we got as far as intel is concerned here today, Peter?
Right. Okay. I'm just trying to think because I always like to get a few things out of the way before we start with Intel.
Mhm.
I say the show I've just put together. Do you remember when Cajun Girl was talking about the Commonwealth
Yes.
games?
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
you guys seem to think it was in Birmingham,
I'm sorry.
Alabama.
I was mistaken. You are correct.
Because I was in Birmingham and there was advertising for the Games while I was there.
Okay.
When you guys were so adamant it was in Alabama, I actually deliberately said, "Oh, okay," and then if it's Lusty there, because I just wanted to see if you guys would even notice, because I knew it was in the UK. So
My
anyway,
bad. My bad.
yeah,
I
no, I
thought it
mean,
was because I heard there was some sort of games going on down in Birmingham, Alabama, because they have the new stadium down there and everything else, and they're trying to show it off. So,
well, they may have a stadium in Birmingham, Alabama, but it was not where the Commonwealth Games. I mean,
okay,
the Commonwealth Games is something which is very British. I mean, it's the
Okay.
British Commonwealth. Why would they be in Birmingham, Alabama?
I don't know.
It's the
Okay.
World Games. I
It's the
saw a
World
sign
Games.
for it. When you enter Alabama State, there's a sign that says World Games, home of World
Okay,
Games.
so there's the
2022.
World Games in Birmingham, Alabama, but the
Yeah, it's
Commonwealth
going on
Games.
now.
Okay, it's
It's
going
on
on
now,
now.
yeah.
So, all right, so there's two different things going on. Okay, sorry for
Okay.
the confusion. All right, thank you,
I
Kate.
had the wrong name, I guess. I don't know.
All right, no,
Yeah,
you're fine. You're fine.
Okay, so it was the Commonwealth, and I actually found the scenes which Cajun Girl was talking about, and I displayed them while she was talking about it. So it actually looks very, very visually pleasing, that section.
Technically, Pat, yes, we are in the Commonwealth. The U.S. is in the Commonwealth. Technically, we are because of the Act of 1871.
Yes,
Technically,
that's right.
we can go through all of that. Okay, at a later time. All right.
And
What?
the question is, what is Germany? Because Germany isn't really a state at all.
No, it isn't.
Germany is basically under military law from
Mhm.
the Allies. That is America, Britain, France, and Russia.
Russia. Mhm. Correct.
So they are the ones who actually have control of the country, even if they don't show themselves. And they've been allowing this charade to happen from the federal government, but in reality, the government is not legal. It's not lawful, should I say?
Peter, do you mean SCHAEF?
Yeah, the SCHAEF laws. That's right. Yes. And
Okay.
I've been looking into that quite a bit, and I've been winning legal cases just by pointing out that their courts are just simply private companies and not state courts at all.
Right.
They will
Exactly.
ignore you. They will ignore you until you send them a notice saying that you are reporting them to the military tribunals, and then they give up very quickly.
Yeah, we're under admiralty law, Judy, under the 1871 law. We are currently not in a state of the Republic of the United States of America. We are currently under admiralty law under the Act of 1871, which put us under the rule of the British Crown and their monetary system.
But I thought that had been solved or closed already.
It had been closed. It had been closed, but it's not been announced to the public as yet. That's
Yeah.
under the terms of GESARA.
That means as far as what the media is telling you, you're still under maritime law, and they're acting as if it's like that. But in reality, they're not in control at all.
Right. So if you go into a courtroom, all right, or any proceeding or whatnot, and you see the American flag that is trimmed in gold tassels, all right, that is the admiralty law maritime
That's
flag.
right, because the gold around it means it's a commercial and not a state institute.
That is correct. That means it is a corporation and not an individual state. Also, did you know that the flag as we know it, the stars and bars with a blue field, okay, is actually a wartime flag? We have been in a constant state of war forever and a day. Our actual peacetime flag looks much different with a white field with blue stars, okay, and vertical red and white stripes.
Wow, that's very different, huh?
Very different, very different. That is actually the peacetime flag. All right. And you fly either of those upside down, that means you're in distress. You have to look up the rules in everything else under the Title IV flag. Okay, which is what we do, which is what it's all about. But there are different symbols in different things that designate the Title IV flag. You can look it up all on the internet, and it will explain it all to you. Even the head of the flagpole, okay, has different meanings. There's a silver ball, there's the eagle, and there's the spear, and each of those have different designations as well. Okay, so yeah,
right.
do your, you got to brush up on history. You have to know your history in order to know where you're going.
That's right, and you're definitely the historian for American history.
Technically, yeah. Okay. All right. What else we got?
Yes. September the 3rd, you mentioned. I'm actually booked to go to a Connecting Consciousness meeting on that day.
Okay.
Here in Germany, in fact, in Cologne.
That's on Saturday.
That's on the
3rd.
Saturday, and in fact, I'm double booked because in the evening I'm due to go to another event. So so if there's anything happening in the world stage, I might miss it. Except the Connecting Consciousness people are probably pretty awake as well.
All right. So Gaydon just put in there that the euro is at 50 cents right now. What is it actually trading at? I heard it could go as low as 50 cents here in the next couple of weeks versus the dollar.
The euro 50 cents, it's about 1-to-1 at the moment.
It's about 1-to-1 at the moment.
Yeah, it's not 50 cents.
It's not 50 cents at the moment, but it could go that way within the next few weeks.
Well, somehow I doubt it, but we will have to see.
All right, it's under $1 at this point. Patricia said. Okay. All right. What else?
What else? Well, I'm going to have to look that up because I'm not quite believing those numbers.
Kay says it's at 996.27 right now.
Right.
So it's just under $1.
Okay, I'll have that in a few seconds. 0.99643366 it's telling me.
All right, it'll fluctuate.
That is €1 is $0.9964 US. So it is still above a dollar.
Okay, all right.
But it's very close. It is very close.
It is very close. Okay.
I knew because I did a bank transfer from euros to dollars, or it could have been dollars to euros, only yesterday, and it was very, very close. Both numbers are very close, before and after. And I thought, yeah. So yes, the euro has lost quite a lot of value because we used to be at a euro used to be about $1.20 or even $1.30 at times.
Yeah, certain times. Yeah.
So
it was kind of in league with the British pound at one time.
Yeah, not quite. The pound was always a bit more, but certainly, the euro's fall has collapsed a lot, and a lot of that is determined by particularly the German politicians who are doing crazy things at the moment. I mean, I'll give you an example of how crazy it is. We taxpayers or power saves, we are being confronted with massive price hikes on electricity and gas. But what is the government doing? The German government is selling German generated power to the French at a cut price. So it's the German citizens are paying for electricity being sold to the French, and it's the government getting the money from that sales.
Right.
And people are very angry about that.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yes, I did hear that the
on the French Iraqi, the UK, Pat says.
Well, no, on the Iraqi dinar, traders were fined several $1 million for trading within 50 days of the revaluation. We have no idea when that 50 days actually started. That could have been a month ago. It could have been last week. It could have been yesterday. We don't know. So if we're in 50 days, within 50 days of revaluation, it could happen at any time. So, and that was reported on Mark Z. Okay.
Yeah. So
All
Mark
right.
Z is back. He's
Oh yeah, he's feeling better. He had some nasty lasagna from what I can understand.
nasty lasagna.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay,
Put him
not
down for a day.
not NDAR or
Uh-huh.
something like that.
Uh-huh.
Not
No,
some-
he was not under the, well, he was non-disclosed, that's for sure, because I certainly didn't want to see that. Okay.
He was not, but he was not in agreement. That was
It was not disclosed, but indisposed, should
indisposed.
we say. Indisposed.
Okay.
Okay.
So I didn't even have a chance to watch him yesterday because I was so busy trying to get yesterday's show up. You know, sometimes I overdo myself and I promise to put too much into shows. And then the actual implementation takes longer than I have time available. That results in shows coming out late. But but I say the final render is running. In fact, it's on pause now because otherwise I'm taking too much power away from the computer to run the show. But
All right. So Todd asked the question, I have Zims and Dong, but never registered with anyone. How or whom would I contact for reveal? Tell you what, Todd, just stay in contact with us.
that's right.
You know, we'll tell you, you know, on the forum or anything else. You don't have to register with anyone. You
In
know,
fact, you shouldn't.
Yeah, you don't. If you really want to know what we do, you can put in an email request at sign up for Dinar Recaps or at Dinar Chronicles, you know, which is where we get a lot of our intel and everything from. And you can sign up with the Telestray, you know, stuff there and get direct messages from them, you know, and they send you daily newsletters and lots of fun stuff too.
Okay, now Debbie from Dallas has just written, is QFS going to beat 14067? The answer is, of course it is.
Yes, it is.
Because 14067 has been created by an illegitimate government, which is basically just a private corporation which is bankrupt. So what their executive orders actually have no real standing at all, whereas the QFS is fully legitimate and signed into the real law. So
Right.
yes, 14067 doesn't really have lawful meaning.
Exactly. You know, anything that Biden signs off on at this point or whatnot. Right now, he's doing, and this is coming directly from Fox News. Biden is on the television right now. Biden announces $300 billion loan handout. Okay. Basically, this is the student loan thing that they are trying to give forgiveness to for people who make less than $125,000 a year, $10,000 per person if you have a student loan out there. So he's pushing that through right
So
now.
where's the money coming from?
Good question. You know, you just reach up, pull it off the tree, you know.
Well,
Well,
he's got some new IRS people, hasn't he? So
Yeah, he does have some new IRS people. The taxpayers are paying for it. But, you know, why are you doing that? Okay. It's like they were the ones who signed off on the loans and everything else. You have a bunch of people out here who went another route. Okay. And didn't go to college, didn't put themselves into debt and everything. And then you're saying to those people, well, we want you to pay for their mistake of buying into this loan.
Yeah.
So, you know, no, it doesn't. That's not right. It's not right at all. You signed up for it. You pay for it. There you go.
Well, except if they were taught about the Cestui Que Vie account.
Well, yeah, that's another thing that Peter and I are going through right now. We hope to have more information about that soon.
That's right. Yeah, we both signed up for it yesterday, and I think it worked for Billy. Mine, not quite.
We just had one little minor thing. I think
there's a glitch on mine. Basically, one of the documents is going to someone else called Peter Walker, who's in Sacramento or somewhere.
Washington State, I thought it was.
It doesn't matter. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you, that's for sure. No.
Yeah, that's right. So there's a glitch in their system somewhere, and we got to see if we can get that fixed. But you know, that once we worked out the system and feel confident enough, we're going to try and teach you guys how to do this because it can be vital.
One step at a time.
That's right. We got to work it out first. Yeah.
The first thing to do is to go ahead to commonlawcourt.com and start the process there of getting your common law birth certificate, getting your oath taken care of, those types of things, and register at commonlawcourt.com. Okay. All right. That is the first step in the process.
I can just hear Angie, etc., saying, no, don't do that, because they don't like the common law court for some reason.
Okay. All right. Well, but that's what we did as the first step in the process.
That's certainly. We have both done that.
Peter and I both have done that.
That's right. And I don't regret it. I think it was a good
No, I don't. Choice. I don't regret it. I don't regret it at all.
And I would still recommend everybody try it. I mean, it's not going to hurt. It's going to cost you a few dollars. Well, that's worth it, I think.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like $25 for the birth certificate, whatever it is.
Yeah. If you get one from the state, you probably pay at least that. And it's for an illegitimate one.
Right. We'll have a special on this at some point in time. We just have to get through it ourselves. So let's go ahead and move on. What do we got?
Right. Okay. I think now this is where I say goodbye to the people on YouTube, because we are now actually going to start the news. And I have to beep this out whenever you say those things. So maybe I'll just cut that bit out and save me the trouble.
No, there you go. There you go.
No, I got to see if I can get these headphones in, because then the hat will work.
Exactly. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to tell a little story here. All right. Now, and everybody's, if you read the Bible, you'll see different stories in there and everything else. In the familiar Bible story, the Lord entrusted his servants with sums of money called talents in varying amounts. He equally praised those who, rather than burying their talents, used and developed what he gave them, whether it was much or little. Whatever measure of talent we have, it can bless the world around us, but only if we share it. Okay? Don't think in talents of money. Think of talents of what you do, how you can help people and whatnot. It only works, those talents that you were given, if you share it. Okay? So there we go. And Peter's got his hat on. He's got his headphones in. We're ready to go with the intel. It's news time.
That's right. I just need some music like this, and then
there you go.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, these are not very. These are old earphones I've had for a long time. They're supposed to be good ones, but actually their quality of it. But for speech, it's probably okay. Okay. Right. So first of all, welcome to the news, and this is where we're going to get serious. Well.
Oh, not again.
Are we really going to get serious? No, come on, that's not us, is it? Let's get
serious is so black.
Serious is so black, yes. Yeah, well, we're pretty bright, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. But
yes, okay. Cajun Gold is doing da 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 da
da da da da da da. Wait a minute, maybe we can have the helicopter come in right about now.
We need a jingle. I've actually considered changing my background for the news. That would be
really?
Thing I could do.
There you go. Where are you going to do the news from? From a newsroom?
Well, that I could do it from a newsroom. Yes,
you can do it
from the White House.
In front of the White House. There you go. That would be cool. Or in front of 10 Downing Street.
Or 10 Downing Street, yeah. But I think we see most people don't know what 10 Downing Street looks like inside, or at least not very well. Whereas everybody knows what the Oval Office looks like.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay.
Although probably more fitting to me would be from the bridge of the Enterprise.
True.
Yeah, and then we'll be telling you tomorrow's news today.
Exactly. Tomorrow's news today. That was from a famous James Bond movie. Which one?
Which one? Alex Jones, I thought said that one.
No. That was no. It was tomorrow's news today. That was one of the famous lines in Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes.
Oh right. Okay. Just trying to silence my phone.
That is correct. With Pierce Brosnan and
Didn't Pierce Brosnan want to do his own rival James Bond series?
Yeah, he did. He did at one point. I think that's been shelved though.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He did. That was at the time when he just finished being, or rather, they even let
In
him
fact-
do the next movie despite doing that trick. So,
In fact, the guy who was in the movie that played the bad guy is
Yeah.
playing Pope Francis right now out on the road.
oh right.
Okay,
So he's kept on doing the bad guy bit.
right, exactly. What was his Pierce?
Pierce Brosnan.
No. The guy that plays the bad guy. Now I can't remember his name. Jonathan Pierce.
Jonathan Pierce.
Jonathan Pierce.
Okay.
Yes. Or Jonathan Price. Jonathan Price.
Jonathan Price. Okay, and he's now playing the Pope.
Yeah, he's now paying Price. Pryce. Yes, thank you. I couldn't remember it there for just a second.
Okay. Unlike you, normally you're a wealth of information and you know what you're talking about.
Well, every once in a while, I have to think, jog it back into place.
Okay, so let's get on with the news.
Mm-hmm.